Still sitting in a truck seat that's older than your favorite pair of work boots? Your back has been filing complaints for years. If your seat is worn out, sagging, or just plain uncomfortable, it's time for an upgrade. Head on over to seatspecialist.com. Check out their selection of quality replacement seats built to keep you comfortable mile after mile. And don't forget to use promo code TR10 4U to save 10% on your order. Seatspecialist.com, because a better ride starts with a better seat.
All right, y'all, let's keep it real. Nobody likes waiting around or getting delays when it comes to getting payments. Maybe you're filling up or grabbing a spot or want to get back on the road. But in trucking, we've been stuck with outdated systems way too long. And today I'm joined by Spencer Barkoff, the president and co-founder of Relay Payments, a company that's changing how we pay for fuel, parking, repairs, and more. Under his leadership, Relay is helping drivers and fleets move faster, safer, and smarter. If you're tired of the old way of doing things, this episode's for you. Spencer, my man, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me.
Hey, Ray. Thanks for having us.
So another episode of That's Delivered, and to kick things off, just like get a little background about our guest that's on, and let people get to know you a little better. You've been helping build one of the fastest growing fintech companies that are out there. But why trucking? What pulled you into that world?
Yeah, so about almost 10 years ago now, my co-founder Ryan and I, we met a freight broker who showed us all the issues that he had when paying for lumper fees and all the issues with paying with a check, right? And the phone calls, the time that he wasted, and then the receipt process that he had on the back end. And after spending some time really investigating what he was saying and seeing if it was true, spending time at truck stops and at the warehouses talking to different folks in the industry, we both had entrepreneurial backgrounds and fell in love with the industry and jumped in to solve problems.
That's awesome. I mean, you got to be fast moving today with business. There's a lot of changes that take place. Let's bring it back to the driver's seat. When you're out there talking to real drivers, what do you hear most?
Yeah, so we didn't understand why you and I can go to a grocery store and tap our phone to make a payment, or we pay our friends or our family or kids on Venmo and PayPal. And in logistics, we're still using paper checks or fleet cards, fleet fuel cards, or cash to make these payments over the road. And drivers also have the same experience, right? In their everyday lives, when they go to the grocery store, they're tapping their phones. And when they're paying their friends or their kids, they're using Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. And so our mission was just to create the same consumer-like payment experience that you and I have every day, and bring it into logistics, right? Drivers just want to do what they do best, drive, right? Deliver freight. And if you can make the experience easier for them as they go from point A to B, it's a win-win-win for the carrier, for themselves, for whoever they're paying. And so what we heard from them most is, make it easy for me, right? Let me just keep driving and keep moving.
Nice. I mean, what's one of the most frustrating things that you hear when it comes to paying for fuel or lumpers, parking, repairs? What are you hearing out there?
Yeah, I can go into each one, but the lumper payment process is a fascinating one, right? You get to a facility between midnight and 8 a.m. is usually when these deliveries take place. And a lot of times you don't know the amount, right? Until the truck is actually unloaded. And once you get that amount, you actually have to call the company, right? And that can happen at 3 a.m. or you have to call a freight broker. And you actually have to go get that money code or express code. And then you have to find a check if you don't have one, write that down on a check, hand it to the lumper, who then has to call to verify that code. And if anything goes wrong in that process, you have to restart and call back your company. We heard from drivers that this could take anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes. I've seen it take up to 8 hours, to be honest, at one point, if you can't get someone on the phone. And then once you get that receipt, you have to turn it into your company. And we heard on average, companies were losing between 8 to 10% of their receipts. When you're doing millions and millions of dollars in lumper fees, if you lose that many receipts, money either has to come out of the driver's paycheck or the company has to eat it. And so we got in there and automated that payment and automated the receipt and eliminated all the phone calls, the waste of time on dock, or the receipts. On the fuel side, about 2022, 2023, fuel fraud became a big problem in the space. a lot of the cards that they use today don't have chips, right? When you and I make a credit card payment, we enter in our card and have a chip. The industry didn't move in that direction, right? When you go to a truck stop, you're still swiping your card. And organized crime rings were installing card skimmers at the pump and lifting that information off and causing a real problem for the fleet, right? And fuel fraud doesn't work like you and I do when we have fraud on our cards, right? We just log into American Express and click dispute. But in this industry, it becomes a problem on who's going to cover that fraud. Is it the carrier? Is it the fuel merchant? Or is it the card company themselves? And so we took what we were doing in the lumper space and brought it into fuel, creating a digital fraud-free transaction. We guarantee it. And this ultimately just led to a better driver experience. It led to the trucks moving more efficiently. And it eliminated any of the issues that come in with fraud and cash flow.
It's awesome. What about parking and repairs?
Yeah. So parking's interesting, right? What we do there is because of the ELD mandate, right? You only have 11 hours to drive or 14 hours being on duty. When you come up against that time, you got to know where you're going to park. And sometimes parking at one of the major truck stops can be full. And so we, for free on our mobile application, help drivers find safe and secure parking around the United States. So we have locations that we vetted that are on our application that just gives them more visibility in where they can park. And so we provide that as a service to them for free to help them in their everyday lives on the road. And then when it comes to repairs, right, a lot of times when a driver gets a flat or has something happen with the truck, it becomes again, a similar type of process where you have to find a repair shop that you trust and know, and then you have to go pay for that payment. A lot of times checks are used in that process as well. And so what we do there is we provide a vetted set of repair and maintenance locations that we know work well for the drivers. And then we automate that payment, make it digital for them, and automate the receipt back as well to create a seamless experience really for that unexpected payment that you're going to have to make if you do have something happen to your truck while you're driving.
Wow, I mean, this is almost like you're getting luxury accounting abilities right there from the seat of your truck, and you guys are relieving a huge stress point. I mean, that's a big deal for a lot of business problems out there. That's great. And then you also launched something called Relay Pulse. Tell me what's that about? You know how it helps fleets and drivers stay on top of their spending.
Yeah, so Relay Pulse it's a dynamic ELD integration that brings real-time visibility and proactive control to fleets for fueling. We connect with over, I believe it's 100 different ELD providers, including major platforms like Motive and Samsara, and it automatically enforces fueling policies that the company may set. So, for example, it verifies the fuel tank capacity that actually increases and it confirms the drivers at the right truck stop and it blocks fueling from taking place if those checks fail. And every fueling syncs instantly with their dashboard. It eliminates any manual audits that the company may have to do. It surfaces suspicious activities before losses may happen. So it really protects against first party fraud, right? A lot of what we do is third party fraud when it comes to card skimming, but sometimes you have bad actors. And so Pulse helps a company ensure that every dollar that's being spent on fuel is actually going into the truck and prevents against that type of fraud as well.
Man, it's awesome. And you covered quite a bit there. I mean, think about the feedback you're probably getting from drivers when using relays at spots like Southern Tire Mark or Pilot, Boss truck stops. I believe some of the your big name locations. Is that right?
Yeah, so today we integrated with over 3,000 truck stops, right? And really that's come from our customers. We said to them, hey, where do you guys fuel? Where do you need us to be accepted at? And so we're supported at all the big major truck stops, Pilot, Love's, TA, Maverick, 7-Eleven, Circle K. So anywhere that a driver needs to fuel up, we're supported. We've integrated directly into the pumps at most of these locations, which was a lot of work. But again, it keeps the drivers at the fuel island. They're easily able to get out of their truck, stay at the pump, type in the code, fuel if they pass all the security checks, prompts, and limits that the fleet sets for them. And then they're on their way, right? And if they do need to go inside of the store, we also integrate there as well. They can purchase any items that their fleet may that allows them to. If they need to get cash, they can do so as well. So we've integrated really the way we've built our merchant network is by listening to the customers and the fleets and the carriers and the drivers and telling us where we need to integrate, and we go ahead and do it.
Man, tell us, give a little eye opener about that. I mean, I'm intrigued. How much work goes into getting set up on some of these field islands or the parking, some behind the scenes so people can have appreciation for what you guys are doing out there?
It's taken about 7 years, and we're still company's about to turn 7 years old. So it has been a lot of work. So when it starts with the lumper and the warehouse market, right? We've worked to integrate directly into a lot of their proprietary systems. We have a whole engineering team and a whole integrations team that will work to really understand what the merchant, whether it's a lumper, a fuel stop, a repair stop, really how their systems work. And we go and we read these old specifications and different protocols that have been around since the 80s and 90s, and sometimes even earlier. And we understand what it takes to actually work with them in the way their systems work to make these integrations happen. And so I think that's really the secret sauce there is by meeting them where they are and where their technology is, which may be 20, 30 years old, but facilitating payments the way they need payments to be received, but bringing this modern digital experience for the fleet and the driver. That allows them to not rely on a card, not rely on a check, not rely on cash, bringing that Venmo, PayPal like experience into trucking, um, but really leveraging the old school technology that those merchants still have.
Wow, that's huge. I mean, that's definitely going to help out with the fraud, the identity theft, digital scams. I mean, that's a huge problem in the transportation industry. What goes on behind the scene to make sure that it is secure when it comes to their.
So think of us as really like a fintech platform um, that has built-in security and ease of use, right? We're SOC 2 Type 2 certified, which really means that everything from encryption and access control meets enterprise level standards, right? So we understand that we're working with 10 of the top 34 hire carriers or 10 of the top 10 LTLs, almost about 100,000 carriers. And when someone signs up, they have to pass our KYB process and KYC checks, really identity checks, business details, owner verification, IDs. Really, we make sure that we're not onboarding fraudsters, right? And every transaction is encrypted, it's securely logged, it's really only accessed by people you authorize. And because it all happens in real time, if something doesn't add up, say a fuel purchase at a wrong truck stop, you'll know right away and can stop it instantly. So we take security incredibly seriously. We know that every dollar, we like to say to the engineering or every dollar needs to end up where it needs to, and we can never go down, right? Because trucking's 24/7. And so we know we're only as good as those two standards. And so every dollar goes where it needs to go, and we don't go down. And that's really what's kept us ahead and allowed us to grow and build the trust from the market and from the industry.
Awesome. So let's zoom out. There's a lot of old school processes that's still hanging out there in trucking. Beyond payments, what do you think is the next line of tech upgrade that's coming out?
Yeah, so payments isn't only thing stuck in the past, right? Dispatch is still run on phone calls and texts, and detention time can often be a guess. Proof of delivery is still paper. You got to actually scan that in, and invoicing is slowed down because a lot of it's still paper. A lot of that can be digitized. A lot of that can be automated. Um, there is some work going into that. People are moving to their phones or to apps, or I know folks are looking at AI and seeing how they can, automate those processes as well. But those are some other areas in the industry that we see that are ripe for more digitization and automation that can help the industry continue to keep moving and make it easier for everybody.
And where do you see this all headed over the next years? Is I know AI or automation, and is this we're just kind of probably scratching the surface, or is it possibly these tools like Relay are going to be something that are going to be around for a long time?
So I think the next 3 to 5 years, instant payments will become the norm, right? Real-time payments. You won't have to wait for days for drivers or vendors to get paid. You'll have data systems, just like what we did with Pulse, telematics, ELD, and routing. They'll start really talking to each other so fleets can make better and faster decisions. AI is an interesting one. We've looked at it for our business a little bit, and we do see different competitors, or not competitors, but different folks in the industry trying to see how they can leverage that. But uh, that one's going to be an interesting one. But they'll help optimize costs. You'll be able to flag different potential spend patterns or potential fraud. Just like it can in any industry, we'll suggest some different vendors that you could use. We've heard, actually, I ran into a company that's trying to predict maintenance before breakdowns even happen. And so that might be an interesting use case that we see. But really, when it comes to the next 3 to 5 years, I think it's just going to be more around leveraging all the different systems that you have, using data to connect these systems more seamlessly. But I do think instant electronic payments, right? Bringing the industry into more consumer grade like payment technology. We've done a lot there. I think that continues. So, cash is king, right? And so that's where I really see the next big wave of innovation.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I mean, you just think about those truckers out there. Um, they got used to something they've been doing for so long. So let's say you're in the front seat, and how have drivers been adapting? Can you share a story, maybe something that's surprising or inspiring that remind you of why this all works and why it matters?
Sure. I've got a couple. I mean, I think it's like 97% of drivers have a smartphone, right? And so we add over 5,000 drivers a month to our solution for paying for fuel. The adoption we've taken really seriously. And what I mean by that is we have a huge focus on customer service. We handhold the drivers every step of the way. We'll actually work with a fleet and onboard those trucks. We'll call every single driver because we know that we want to just give it to the fleet and say good luck. We work with them hand in hand to actually get these drivers onboarded. 24/7, 365 US based customer service. You can call us 1-877 relay 10 877-735-2910. We pick up the phone in less than 30 seconds. And it's somebody in the US that the driver can talk to. You call some of our competitors, and it's not the same type of service, right? And so we take those really seriously. I was at a distribution center a couple months ago, and the manager of that warehouse said to us, "Hey, I just want to let you know, thank you for what you all have done when it comes to digitizing these payments. And now that I don't have these checks, I don't have to go to the bank at the end of the day." And a lot of these locations are very rural, right? They're in the middle of nowhere. And so driving to the bank can take 20 or 30 minutes at the end of a shift. And that warehouse manager said, "I just want to let you know that I'm now able to get home to my kids and actually put them to bed because I don't have to drive an hour to make this bank deposit." And that's the type of stories that keep us going, right? Like, we know that we're serving a very underserved industry when it comes to technology and innovation. It's still um, archaic in some of the things that we do. But when we hear from fleets that, "Hey, you've eliminated fraud for me, and now I don't have to deal with cash flow issues or that worry," or, "Hey, now I don't have to, wait 30 minutes to make a phone call at 3 a.m." One of our taglines back in the day was, "Hey, Relay, we let you sleep," right? Because driver doesn't have to call you at 2 in the morning for a check. The payment's ready to go. Um, those are the types of things that keep us going. For the fleets, it's business operations, processes, better experience for everyone that works there, no fraud. For the drivers in an industry that has high turnover, right? How do you keep the drivers moving and having a good experience? Uh, for them, just getting in and out of the dock or in and out of the fuel stop is a better experience on the road. And then for the warehouse workers, it's, again, getting rid of some of the liability when it came to those paper checks, where if they leave one in their pocket and go home and wash their pants and ruin the check, they're on the hook. And so it's a win-win-win for everybody involved. And those are the types of stories that keep us going, keep us moving. That we love to hear. We share them every month. We'll have a customer spotlight where we'll interview a customer and we'll tell the story to the company. Um, Gotta love helping people, right? If you don't love serving this industry, then this isn't the place for you. And it's been very motivating to hear the stories and the outcomes that we've had for these companies.
Nice. Yeah, serving is definitely going to be helping, and you're going to reap the benefits from that because people are going to keep coming back and wanting more. So awesome, great job. I mean, man, that's sounds like you guys got your eye on the ball. You're doing quite a bit there. What do you see the future is for the company? Are they looking to expand maybe to something new in the horizon that they could look forward to? Maybe like factoring or something?
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get into factoring, but what we do is we listen to our customers, right? Again, the 100,000 fleets that we serve, we say to them, hey, where else do you have payment problems? Who else do you pay on the road? That's a challenge. Right now, what we're really focused on is expanding our merchant network. So anywhere else that a carrier may need to make a payment, we have teams who are working on adding those to the Relay network. We're going to do some good announcements here over the next 3 to 6 months about some other partners that we're bringing on who want to work with us to digitize and automate payments. And so that's a big push for us. And then there's some other payments that happen at the ports, or some other payments that we may get involved in. But again, we just go where our customers tell us to go. We have quarterly meetings with a lot of them, learn where they also make payments, and where they need us to automate and digitize, and we just follow what their lead. And that's how we continue to innovate for 'em.
Sweet. Well, I mean, before we wrap it up, there's quite a few drivers out there listening. Maybe want to jump into and get these tools started for themselves. What's one small step that they could take to get started to see the difference for themselves?
Sure. So, if you're an owner operator, you just go to the App Store and download Relay Payments. We have a whole program called our Clutch Network where we've actually gone and pre-negotiate discounts on behalf of the carriers that they can use us for automating their fuel payments and getting good deals in the meantime. If you're a fleet, check out relaypayments.com, reach out to us or call us at 877 Relay 10 735 2910. And we're there to help you get set up, automate your payments, and make cards and checks and cash a thing of the past. And so we're here to help.
Nice. Last thing we want is people losing more cards out there and having to send them new cards or they expire. Or, I mean, man, it can be very frustrating trying
That's
to keep
right.
all those cards straight and in the right truck or whatever. So, yeah, let's eliminate some of that stuff. Great. Um, so, anything else you want to share or a tip that you want to hand out for the drivers out there? Maybe some of the customers that are already listening that have used you guys. What's one thing you want to tell them?
Sure. Um, I would just say that we get to work with some of the best folks in the industry, right? Uh, 10 of the top 30 for hires, 10 of the top 10 LTLs, 100,000 carriers. We thank them for allowing us the opportunity to serve the industry. We're really focused on great technology, transparent pricing and fees. Everything we do is month to month. Everything we do is month to month. We don't lock people in the long-term agreements. We know that if we're not helping and serving you, don't work with us, right? And we do that because we stand by what we've built, right? We have a really high what we call say-do ratio. And then our customer service, right? 24/7, 365 US based customer service. I've been on calls with potential customers and I will call our customer service line in real time to show them that, we're not making stuff up here. And so we will continue to stick to those core tenets, and continuing the opportunity to serve this industry. It's a great one. We love it. And we just thank you for having us on and for the opportunity to share our story.
That's awesome, man. I think you guys are doing great things, and I'm rooting for you guys to keep going and you going in the right direction so to help the industry grow and help everybody else. I know teamwork is what we need. We can't get this stuff done by ourselves, so we need each other. So that's great.
Thanks, Ray. Appreciate you having us on.
Yeah, so big thank you to Spencer and all your team and the company out there that's doing things and taking the time to talk with us and work with us. Team at Relay are doing things that bring real change into our industry And if you want to learn more, to check them out, the Relay Pulse or other tools that are out there, visit relaypayments.com. And remember to all you guys, if you have anything you like that you see, you want to share with people from this show, feel free to do so. Change doesn't always come easy in trucking, but it's happening. And it makes life a lot easier on the road, a little smoother when we look forward to what these changes can happen. So keep it safe, keep rolling. And this is your host, Truckin' Ray, signing off until next time.
Are you a trucker looking for a safe and reliable place to park? Look no further than Truck Parking Club. With locations across the country, we've got the perfect spot waiting for you, whether it's daily or long-term parking. And right now, use promo code DELIVERED at checkout for an exclusive discount. Reserve your spot today at truckparkingclub.com and drive stress-free, knowing your parking is covered.